URC was back this weekend, folks, with a full complement of games. We still don't have all the Six Nations players back for their sides just yet, but we did get all the games on, nothing cancelled. We'll go through them as quick as we can because there was a bunch of them. I saw a couple in full, and I have watched highlights and looked up stats and whatnot for the rest. We'll go through some key events, as I said, some stats, how the teams are standing, and yeah, you guys can let me know your thoughts. First one, Lions and Ospreys. Highlights for me for this one. Man, the Lions look like a really fun team to watch right now. If you haven't seen the highlights, it's like 5 minutes. It's well worth a watch. They score some pretty unbelievable tries. It's all like offloads and chucking it to the backs, and I don't know, man, just really, really attractive rugby, man. 45-15, that's a proper hiding and a half. The Ospreys do get 2 tries. Webb's been in good form all season, so it's good to see him get one. And Collins has won as an intercept. But yeah, it's the Lions who really just looked so sharp. I mean, they had tries through McOne on like 11 minutes, and then MUNvBEN got the first of his 2 before halftime. So the halftime score was still pretty tight, like 14-3. That's not dead and buried by any means. 2 great Lions tries against the 1 penalty. But they extended the lead with a couple pretty early on in the second half as well. MUNvBEN got another one. Horn got one. Collins got his one, like I said, and then just bam, 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 the Lions get more. Russ, Edinburgh van der Merwe down that left wing, proper class. And yeah, Warner got one at the end. So all I can say is the Lions are very, very fun to watch. They've been terrible for ages, but suddenly they're looking like a good team. Where's this come from? You guys who are Lions fans will have to let me know what's kind of turned them around. But either way, they're in good form, and they are, yes, like I said, very, very easy on the eye. Edinburgh van der Merwe makes 4 line breaks. The offload count for the Lions guys is 15. Ospreys is 5. Clean breaks 10-5. Defenders beaten 33-13. That just gives you an indication of how cracking the Lions guys were going. The big lock, Rhys Davis, has 17 from 17 tackles, so a good shift from him. But I mean, Morne van der Berg, 2 tries, 2 assists, van der Merwe 4 defenders beaten, like I mentioned. So yeah, Lions, fun times, man. 5-8, they are still down in 12th, but they're tracking well. Ospreys are 7-6, they're in 9th. The Lions are home to Edinburgh, which could be pretty interesting, and the Ospreys are away to the Stormers, so it don't get any easier for them. The next one, Munster and Benneton. Didn't see this one either. Highlights for me, but Munster, goodness gracious, way too good for Benneton at home. 51-22 is a pretty big scoreline, although it took them a while to get the first try. They took a penalty early to have the 3-0 lead, but they don't get the first try until right on about 20 minutes. The fullback Gallagher gets the try. So 10-0, turnover ball, they get the second at 17-3. But then, I mean, maybe the try of the game was actually Rhino Smith right before halftime with that cross kick. How he, I mean, again, worth watching the highlights if you got a second. Just grabs it and kind of dots it down at the same time when they had advantage, like a proper, this is what you should do when your team's got advantage. Try that kind of Hail Mary play, and this one actually came off. So, yeah, halftime 17-10, which is still game on, but man, the second half, the Munster guys just take the scoring away from Benneton. They just score. I mean, Dare gets one, but I mean, Zebo goes over, Coombs goes over, O'Sullivan, Dale Endy gets one at the finish. I mean, Brayley gets the consolation at the death. But, yeah, Benneton were well dead and buried by the time they got that one. So, and they had a yellow card in there as well. So, yeah, Munster pretty relentless in that second half, seemingly. Clean breaks 7-2. Turnovers conceded seemed pretty high, but it looked like it had been snowing, maybe. Yeah, the pitch was looking like it was a wee bit chilly. 15-16 turnovers conceded. Like I said, it's high. The Munster fullback Gallagher has 69 run meters, 2 clean breaks, and 4 defenders beaten. So not a bad shift. Menoncello makes 15 from 18 tackles, so also pretty busy. Munster are 9-5. They're in 3rd. Benneton are 4 wins, 8 losses, and a draw in 14th. So wrong end of the table for them. Missing a lot of players, obviously. But yeah, Munster are home to Leinster next, which will be a cracker, no doubt. And then Benneton are home to Connacht, so that could be an interesting game in itself. Zebre and Scarlets also, man, I'm still on highlights with this one, but I did watch the one after. Scarlets absolutely put the Zebre guys to the sword. Zebre remain winless. 41-24. I mean, Zebre, to their credit, did score some points. 24 points is not like they got nilled or anything. But, I mean, Scarlets got 2 tries, 1 on each wing early. BULvDRA gets 1, CONvLEI gets 1. Not too much time difference between them, 22 minutes, 29. So, yeah, they're getting some space out wide. Paid off for them early. It was 17-3 after that second try. By halftime, it was 24-3. So the Scarlets guys really cracked on. But, I mean, Zebre, like I said, to their credit, they get 3 tries in that second half. So at least gives their home fans something to cheer about. But, yeah, it looked like it was going to be game on when they scored 2 tries. And they took it to 17-29. But Scarlets didn't take long to score after that. And they just kind of pulled away. So, yeah, like I said, Scarlets guys have been on a bit of a bad run, so this is a bit of a confidence boost for them, albeit against a winless Zebre. Yeah, Zebre, their run just goes on. At least they kept fighting. Interestingly, though, stats-wise, Zebre don't look too bad. Run meters 509 to 490. They actually get more. They have more possession, more territory, more clean breaks, 9 to 7, but also more turnovers conceded, 19 to 15. So a little bit of drop ball in this game, seemingly as well. CONvLEI, the Scarlets winger, 107 run meters, a clean break and a defender beaten. Not bad. Giamarioli, the number 8 for Zebre, he's a proper attacking threat, isn't he? Can't get in the Italian squad at the moment, but 79 run meters, a clean break, and 3 defenders beaten from him. So, yeah, encouraging stuff for Scarlets to get back. They're in 11th at 5-7. Zebre, kind of unsurprisingly, the bottom team, none from 12 now. Credit to any fans who keep going to attend because there's been not a lot to cheer about. Scarlets are home to Cardiff, so an all-Welsh derby. And then the Zebre guys are away to Glasgow. Edinburgh and the Sharks. I did watch this one. What is going on with Kerr and Bosch? I don't mind Kerr and Bosch. I kind of like Kerr and Bosch. I know he's never been a big tackler. He's got a big old boot on him. But what was up with his boot in this game? I know it was wet. It was very wet. But man, his boot was all over the shop. He missed penalties. He was kicking out on the full. If you're a Sharks fan, you'd be tearing your hair out at this one. It was very, very frustrating stuff from a Sharks point of view. There was no score early. Marius Lowe put in a tackle on Blair Kinghorn in the air, which was a bit of an awkward one because he kind of jumped last minute. But Marius Lowe gets yellow carded, so it's 10 minutes in the bin for them. And the Edinburgh guys punished them with the first try through Kinghorn. So that was pretty ruthless stuff from them with the extra man. Kinghorn straightened really well. But then, yeah, like Bosch, when the Sharks were starting to get momentum, he kicked the ball dead. Their scrum was looking good. Like, if nothing else, the Sharks' scrum was looking pretty monstrous. And, like, Werner Koch loves a tackle. Like, I can't remember who it was. He tackled one of the Edinburgh guys and was giving him absolute grief. It was hilarious to watch. Werner Koch loves rugby, clearly. He enjoys his job. He enjoys every aspect of it, which was... it puts you smiling down, but then, like, Bosch misses a penalty. Like, they won a penalty not long after that tackle. But then Bosch misses it pretty much right out in front. So, yeah, bizarre. Halftime it's 7-0, so pretty tight. Second half, the big Thomas du Tank Engine, he goes over for the only points of the Sharks match because they missed the conversion. He goes over from kind of close range. So it's 7-5, which is probably game on. But then Boffelli gets one not long after. And Kinghorn with the football skills to get one. That was a pretty impressive try and well worth watching the highlights. Check out Premier Sports for the highlights because the URC highlights take ages to come up. Way too long. Just by the by. So yeah, 21-5 final score. No scoring after the Kinghorn try. But man, one of the few sides to get an away win in South Africa at the moment. So good on the Edinburgh guys. Run meters 269 to 205. A lot of kicking, 39 to 40. Probably more kicking than we saw in any of the games this week. But as I said, it was really wet. Clean breaks 1 to 3. As I said, wet. So that kind of makes sense. Watson makes 18 from 18 tackles. Werner Koch makes 10 from 10. So yeah, a bit of a disappointing one from the Sharks' point of view. 7 wins, 5 losses, and a draw is good enough for 8th from them. Edinburgh, though, cracking stuff. Well done, boys. They are 8-5-1, so just the one draw. Positive territory up in 5th. Encouraging. Not an easy place to go in Durban, but they walk away with a decent win. Couldn't quite get the bonus point, if there's anything they could have been chasing. The next one, the Bulls and Dragons, was pretty much always going to be a hiding. I think. The Bulls have been in good form and the Dragons not so much. And it was the Bulls forwards who got them on the board early. BULvDRA got them on the board, so 7-0, 10-0 with the penalty, 10-3. And then Coetzee had a big old... Marcel Coetzee seemed angry in this game from what I saw in the highlights. Big carry. He got it to Mapo to make it 17-3. Half-time, it's like 31-8. Like at least the Dragons guys did manage to get one on either side of half-time, to be fair. Right before the end of the half and then right at the start of the second half, they got a try on each side. So at least that was encouraging. But it was kind of just the Bulls largely running riot in the second half. I mean, yeah, they get a try. Marcel Coetzee, Berger gets one, Mapo gets another. Kurtley Arendse, he's in massive form as well. He was everywhere in this game. He gets 2 tries, so what can you say? I mean, the Dragons scored 3. Sam Davis seemed to have a pretty good game. But, yeah, they scored 20 points, kind of like Zebre. They got a hiding, but at least they scored some tries, got some points on the board, so they did their jersey a bit of pride. But, yeah, they still got pretty bloody well beaten, didn't they? Run meters, 504 to 298, so pretty dominant. Defenders beaten 20 to 10, pretty dominant. Arendse, 120 run meters, 6 defenders beaten, proper handful. Sam Davis, like I mentioned, gets a try assist. He gets like 40 or 50 run meters, so yeah, tough day at the office for the Dragons boys. They are 1-9-1. 15th spot, just above Zebre. And the Bulls, they're looking alright, 7-6, so they are in 7th. The Bulls are home to Ulster, which could be a really interesting game. And the Dragons guys are away to the Sharks. So, I don't know if they'll fancy themselves based on what Edinburgh... If that gives them some encouragement. The Dragons guys have only won 1 this season, but there you go. Maybe if Kerwin Bosch has another off day. Cardiff and Glasgow seems to maybe have been the game of the round. I wish I'd watched it in full. 32-28. Cardiff flying start down the right wing. They get a try through Harry's. And then Glasgow kind of go coast to coast. Kyle Steyn and Cancellieri. Cancellieri is fast. I knew he was quick, but man, he's fast. Unbelievably quick. Click on the highlights if you want to watch Cancellieri being quick, because boy was he quick. He gets 2 tries in this game. The second one might even be better, the intercept one. But I mean, yeah, it was 8 points to 7 with Cardiff in front. But then Sam Johnson went over to put the Warriors in front, and then Fraser Brown, his try made it look like it was going to be maybe a tough day at the office for the Cardiff boys, because they've not been in the best of form. But then Cabango, he got 2 tries in this game as well. So yeah, proper real back and forth stuff. I mean, if you're a Glasgow fan, you're probably pretty gutted that when Cancellieri gets that intercept try, it's 28-15, and yet Cardiff are able to come back. Cancellieri went for a second intercept later on and didn't get it, so he gets deliberate knock on. That's that risk-reward thing with that ruling, eh? Like, he gets one, and he gets a length of the field try. The next one he goes for, he can't get it, and he's gone. 10 minutes in the bin, and the Cardiff guys punished them for it. Cabango got his second try, so 29-28 plus a penalty at the end to make it 32-28. Good game, man. Proper back and forth, like actual lead changes. Like, you didn't see a lot of lead changes this weekend. There's a lot of kind of lopsided scorelines. But, yeah, this game was one for that. Run meters 437 to 529. Glasgow edging that. Both sides tackled in the 90% range, which is really high, despite both sides scoring 4 tries. But, I mean, the clean break count's also pretty high, 6-4. Holo's 72 run meters, a clean break, and 5 defenders beaten. Kyle Steyn in the midfield for Glasgow, 108 run meters, a clean break, and 5 defenders beaten. Cancellieri, like I mentioned, tearing it up. So, yeah, really fun game, that one. Good for Cardiff. Disappointing for Glasgow. 5-6 are Cardiff. Remember, they've still got games in hand. They're in 13th, away to the Scarlets. And Glasgow are home to Zebre at 9-5. They're at 4th. So maybe they'll change things up for the Zebre boys, or maybe they'll just put the hammer down. We will have to wait and see. The Stormers and Ulster. I did watch this one. I've been determined to catch up on the South African team, so I haven't been able to see that much in recent times. So in the last few weeks, I've been seeing as many of their games as I could, and I figured this one would be tight because Ulster, you know, they're right up the top of the log for a reason. They've got a really good team And it proved to be a really close one. And there's a denied try in this game, which is maybe the difference maker. Diamani's hand probably saves the Stormers in this game from suffering a defeat. I mean, they went to a really good lead, the Stormers, early. They get 2 tries within the first 10 minutes. De Wet gets 1 and Zas gets 1. Galant's got a hand in the build-up of at least the first one. Zas is involved with both. So, yeah, proper good start. 7 points to nil after 14 points to nil after 7 minutes. But then Marty Moore gets 1 as the Ulster guys really start to come into the game. And they get a lot of ball in this game. They spend a lot of time kind of camped down the Stormers' end. Exchange of penalties means it's 20 points to 13 at half-time. So there's not that much scoring going on in the second half. TMO, interestingly, did have to check a tackle by Sinatla on Lowry. And maybe that was an example of how the frameworks and whatnot are working kind of well. Like sometimes I see those upright tackles, and there's a plane going over my house, by the way, and you get frustrated, like, come on guys, get lower. Sometimes they seem to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But the Sinatla one, he's like vindicated because he's doing the absolutely perfect thing. He's bent, he's going in low, but Lowry kind of ducks as he's taking the ball. So they review it and there's nothing doing. It's a restart to scrum, not even a penalty. Like it's proper. That one seems like the laws working the way they should, right? Sinatla's technique is nice, he's bent, and the fact that Lowry dips is what kind of causes the incident. So yeah, there's really nothing doing. So that one is encouraging. Like sometimes we all moan about the laws, but that one actually seemed to be ruled properly. The McCloskey try, he's such a unit. I mean, he probably shouldn't be scoring that one, but he's a big man. If you haven't seen him in South Africa before, like you guys will appreciate a big blockbusting midfielder, Stuart McCloskey. He makes it 23-20. And then, like I said, Ulster are denied that late try as they're just getting the ball over the line from close range. It just gets knocked out right as it's about to go over the line. The Ulster guys contested it, and the ref didn't really have a good view on the screen, seemingly. It's the TMO that said, nah, he's lost it. And the Ulster guys were saying, well, if he's lost it, surely it's because there's a Stormers hand in it, so it's a Stormers knock on, it should be our ball, but it ends up being a Stormers feed. So, yeah, it's a bit of a messy one. It takes them a long time. Like, the refs English is his second language, and he's trying to get from the TMO the point, like... So I get the fact that you've ruled off the try, but is it a knock-on to the Stormers? And I don't know if the TMO fully got it. It took a long time anyway, but anyway, they made a decision in the end. And yeah, that was all she wrote in that one. So 23 points to 20, losing bonus point for the Ulster guys. It's another win for the Stormers, who are actually looking okay. But I mean, Ulster 60% possession, 69% territory. The Stormers make 134 tackles to 62. So it's the defence that won them the game, and that flying start. Zas, 54 run meters, 2 clean breaks, 3 defenders beaten. Lowry, still dangerous even if he's getting clocked when he ducks. 119 run meters, a clean break, and 6 defenders beaten. So yeah, really, really fun game, that one. Ulster are 10-4, still in second. They're away to the Bulls. Like I mentioned, that could be an interesting game. And then the Stormers, they're in sixth with 7 wins, 4 losses, and 2 draws. Home to the Ospreys. They will certainly go into that one as big favourites. The last one, Leinster and Connacht. Well, I didn't watch it in full. I watched the highlights, and man, you will not see 2 quicker cards than you will in this game. There's a card after 45 seconds for the Leinster guys for a tackle in the air, and then there's a red card on 2 minutes for a high tackle to the head. So Leinster lose a man for Tim, and Connacht lose Daly for pretty much the entire game. So Connacht do remarkably well to be only a point. They're only a point ahead at halftime, aren't they? It's 8-7 at halftime. O'Halloran gets one for Connacht, and O'Loughlin gets one for Leinster. It's a great looping pass from Jack Carty to set up the Connacht one. Like real, I don't know how much distance and air he got on that ball, but it was a lot. And then it just seems there's a certain point where the Connacht guys are just out of gas. Because from 53, look at the timings of these tries, you probably can't read it. 53, 56, 64, 67, 72, 77. It's just bang, 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 bang. and then the game is suddenly 45 points to 8. I mean, I can't even remember all the Leinster tries because there was just so many in quick succession. So one of them I can remember, the Frawley one, where even the bounce of the ball was against Connacht for that one. They couldn't clean it up. It was a kick through, I think, and yeah, that just went Leinster's way. So tough to play Leinster, let alone with a man down. So yeah, 45-8. Leinster are first, 11-3, and Connacht are 10th, 6 and 8. The run meters were 247 to 462. Clean breaks 9-3. No surprise, these are all in favour of Leinster. Defenders beaten 29-13. I mean, Butler makes 14 from 15 tackles for Connacht, the Lucy, so not a bad effort. Tommy O'Brien, 98 run meters, 2 clean breaks, 5 defenders beaten, 2 tries. Not a bad effort. Not a bad effort. So, yeah, Leinster away to Munster. That's going to be a big old game. And Connacht have a chance to right things away to Benneton. So there you go. 20 minutes, 21. A bunch of games in the bag. You guys will have to let me know your thoughts. Sorry, I only got to see 2 games in full. I've been trying to squeeze in as much rugby as I can these days. I spent much of Sunday out with my parents and my children, and then even took my wife to see a movie while my parents babysat the children. I won tickets to a movie, so there you go. Enter Facebook competitions if you don't mind giving Mark Zuckerberg your data. You might be able to win something. So there you go. Yeah, interesting round. Big scorelines, really, really big ones. It looks like Cardiff and Stormers games were probably the most kind of edge of your seat stuff. Plus the Edinburgh Sharks one was just, I think it was worth a watch just because of how weird it was. Curl and Bosch's boot, just misfiring like mad and the wet conditions and whatnot. But anyway, I'll stop rambling. Take care of yourselves, guys, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.